Kannappa, Twisted Feast Cinematic Movie Review. The Awakening of a Devotee. This is not just a story, it's devotion, it's sacrifice. It's the tale of a soul that offered everything at the feet of Shiva. The land that gave birth to Kannappa, a warrior, a hunter, a devotee, now comes alive on the big screen like never before. Who was Kannappa? Kannappa was not born into devotion, he was born into battle. A tribal hunter by tradition, fierce, unapologetic, free. He didn't know the Vedas, he had never learned mantras, but his heart, pure, honest, fearless, held the kind of devotion that even the gods could not ignore. And this real-life story of divine surrender is now portrayed in Kannappa 2025, a mythological action drama that brings ancient history roaring back to life. The beginning from hunter to seeker. The film opens in the heart of untamed nature, deep forests, raging rivers, wild beasts. In this primal chaos lives Kanna, a warrior of the wild, strong and bold, but completely detached from any idea of religion or God. He scoffs at temples, he laughs at chants. Where is this so-called God? Show me, he mocks. But fate has other plans. One day while hunting, Kanna stumbles upon a Shiva linga hidden in the forest. An old sage tells him, "This is no stone, this is the seat of Mahadev." Kanna is skeptical, but strange things begin to happen. His aim becomes sharper. The forest feels calmer. His mind starts to question, and thus begins a slow spiritual transformation. The characters where stars become souls. Vishnu Manchu plays the title role, and he lives it. His portrayal of Kannappa is raw, emotional, and layered with intense growth. We also witness Mohanlal as a silent sage whose presence calms and commands. Prabhas, likely playing a divine form of Shiva, has a brief but powerful appearance. Shiva, Rajkumar and Akshay Kumar add strength, intensity and philosophical balance. Each character has a role beyond drama. They represent ideas, faith and tests. At cinematography, where every frame feels holy. Credit to Shekhar V. Joseph. The visuals are breathtaking. Mist swirling through ancient trees, sacred fires burning under starlit skies, rivers glowing in dawn's first light, and above all, the shrine of Shiva glowing in serenity amidst chaos. The camera captures not just scenes but spirituality, especially in moments like Kanna offering his hunted game at the Shiva Linga rain stopping when he prays, a surreal dream where Shiva appears in flashes of fire. It's not just visual storytelling, it's divine symbolism. Music, a soundtrack to the soul mem. Keeravani's music is more than a score, it's a soul-stirring spiritual force. From tribal drum beats to the meditative hum of Shiva's name, every sound is designed to pull the viewer into the story. The highlight track, Jai Bholenath, a booming chant-based hymn that gives goosebumps. And the subtle use of conch shells, damaru, and chants in the background makes each ritual scene feel holy. Mythological layers more than a story. What makes Kannappa stand out is that it doesn't preach religion. It shows devotion in its purest, most human form. Kannappa doesn't know rituals, he doesn't chant slokas. He offers meat, water from his mouth, his own efforts, all in love. And Shiva, he accepts it all. Because as the film says, true devotion lies not in the offering, but in the intent. Direction, a bold sacred vision. Vishnu Manchu, as both actor and producer, has taken a massive risk. Telling the story of a tribal devotee who defies conventional religion is bold, but the result? Absolutely spellbinding. His direction mixes grand scale, battle sequences, nature, emotional intimacy, silent prayers, inner conflict. Philosophical undertones. Is God for the pure or the learned? A connection with the audience. As the audience, you don't just watch Kannappa's journey, you feel it. You feel his frustration when he doesn't understand God. You feel his awe when he begins to sense the divine. You cry when he offers his first prayer with trembling hands. It's a character arc of spiritual evolution, from wildness to worship, where part 1 ends, a test of faith. Just as Kanna finds solace in worshipping the Shiva Linga in his forest, a trial begins. The priests and orthodox villagers condemn him. He's uneducated. He offers meat, not flowers. He's dirtying the rituals, but Shiva remains silent. One day something terrible happens. Blood begins to ooze from one of the Shiva Linga's eyes. The villagers panic. Kanna doesn't understand, but he refuses to let his deity suffer. And what he does next will shock the gods. To be continued, the legendary eye sacrifice, Shiva's miraculous appearance, the climax that redefines devotion, mythological references to real temples, Final review: impact. Sacrifice, revelation, eternal devotion. Devotion is easy when life is kind, but when your God bleeds, what do you do? When rituals fail and logic fades, that's when true faith is born. And in the forests of ancient India, a tribal warrior showed the world what surrender really means. The turning point: when the God weeps, we pick up where part 1 ended. Kanna, the once skeptical hunter, now worships Shiva in his raw, personal way. No mantras, no flowers, only pure devotion. But the priests of the nearby town condemn him. They call him impure, call his offerings sinful. Meat, dirty water, you insult Shiva. Kanna doesn't respond, he simply worships. One stormy day, Kanna approaches the Shiva linga to find something horrifying. Blood is flowing from one of the linga's eyes. The people cry, "A curse!" The priests chant frantically. But Kanna, confused, afraid yet determined, sees only one thing: his God is in pain, and pain demands healings. The ultimate devotion, eye for an eye without hesitation, Kanna does the unthinkable. He draws his hunting knife, presses it against his own eye and tears it out. He gently places it over the bleeding eye of the Shiva linga. There is silence, even nature holds its breath. The bleeding stops. But then, the second eye of the linga starts to bleed. Now Kanna is half blind. If he gives his other eye, how will he know where to place it? So he does something extraordinary. He uses his foot to mark the spot on the linga. Then without flinching, he begins to remove his second eye. Just before the blade touches, a divine light engulfs him. Divine intervention. When Shiva appears, suddenly the air trembles, thunder rolls, the trees sway, and before Kanna stands Lord Shiva himself, majestic, radiant, infinite. He stops Kanna's hand. With a gentle voice, he says, "You have given what even gods cannot ask for. Your vision, your soul, your everything. You did not read the Vedas, but you understood me more than the wisest priest ever could." In a miracle of divine grace, Shiva restores Kanna's sight. Tears stream down Kanna's face and the Lord smiles. He places his hand on Kanna's head and proclaims, "From this day you shall be known as Bhakta Kannappa, the immortal devotee." Mythology meets reality, the temple of Sri Kalahasti. This scene transitions beautifully to the Sri Kalahasti temple in Andhra Pradesh. The narration tells us, Kannappa's legend is not fiction, it's recorded in Shaivite history. He is one of the 63 Nayanars, saints revered for their undying devotion to Shiva. A shrine in the temple still stands, marking the spot where Kannappa offered his eyes. The film makes it clear his legacy is real, his sacrifice timeless. Symbolism and spiritual themes. The movie isn't just about mythology, it's layered with deep truths. Theme message: faith versus rituals. Real devotion needs no rituals if the heart is true. Sacrifice: the body is temporary, the soul's offering is eternal. Judgment versus acceptance. Society may judge you, but God sees only your intention. Divine grace, true surrender brings divine revelation. Each moment reminds us God doesn't need grand offerings, He asks for love. Performance review. The soul of the film, Vishnu Manchu, deserves immense credit. This role demanded not just physical intensity, but emotional surrender. The eye sacrifice scene is perhaps the most gut-wrenching in recent Indian cinema. He performs it without overdrama, just pain, love, and truth. Prabhas, as the divine form of Shiva, makes a brief yet thunderous appearance. It's not a cameo, it's an embodiment of energy. Mohanlal, Shiva Rajkumar, Akshay Kumar, their gravitas lends mythological weight to every frame they occupy. Cinematography, music, the divine blend. If part 1 was beautiful, part 2 is breathtaking. The moment Shiva appears, the screen becomes gold, silver, and ethereal blue. The camera spins around Kanna as he cries, holding the linga, pure emotion. The score by MM. Kiravani rises to a divine crescendo. Nayan Dediya Prabhu Paya, I gave my eyes and found my Lord. This haunting melody lingers long after the credits roll. Final verdict, a devotional epic for the ages. Kannappa isn't a film. It's a spiritual journey, an emotional thunderstorm, a myth reimagined with grace. It proves that faith can arise from any place, even a hunter's heart. God doesn't discriminate, only humans do. Ratings category: rating out of 5. Storytelling, performances, visuals, VFX, music, soundtrack, mythological depth, overall 5/5. Kannappa isn't about religion, it's about love so deep it hurts. It's about sacrifice so pure it heals. And it's a reminder that even a tribal hunter with no mantras and no temple can be closest to God, because devotion is not in the lips, it's in the soul.